Hello, Culture Matters podcast. You are in for a treat today. Before I introduce you to my guest, here's a quote just for this episode. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Aristotle. Our guest today is not only a good friend, and that's really important, they're an educator of human performance. Whether it's coaching cyclists or motocross racers or um, university students or researching the what coaching is or development from a PhD program at a established renowned university. Daniel Heller has spent nearly two decades or plus asking this a simple but profound questions. How do people become better? Now, all of that aside, I say that I met Daniel at an immersive experience of creativity, curiosity, vulnerability, love, and built a fast friendship and got so much from getting to know him. So shout out to Hope Farm, Michael Lasso, our mutual friend. I'm so excited uh, to get to know you even better, Daniel, and to share you with our guests on the Culture Matters podcast. So thanks for coming on the Culture Matters podcast.
My pleasure. Thank you, Jay, for having me. And I have to say that your description of where we met was very appropriate. I describe it as a fun adult acting camp
A fun adult acting camp. Why that way?
because it's the opportunity to play, to explore um, who who we want to be in specific scenarios. We're given the scenario, we're given the words, and then we are invited to bring ourselves to the moment.
When we think about human performance,
Mhm.
where where do those two lanes intersect, if at all, on how do you view it? Like,
Well, it's a great question because if we talk about performance versus performing,
oh wow.
and we're always called to perform, it's a matter of the environment and it's a matter of what is our objective in that environment. For example, my goal, my intention for today is to be able to keep up with you intellectually and how articulate you are when it comes to the world of philosophy, to ignore the ambient sounds around me and stay present while accepting the invitation that you've given me to be on the Culture Matters podcast as a guest, knowing that you invited me to make this episode about me and I'm sharing the state. You're choosing to share your platform with me
Wow.
and have me be here. So bringing it back, I want to perform in a way that shines a positive, successful light on your creative project while giving people insight into who I am and not trying to be the perfect person that some people have that I've worked very diligently on not becoming, as far as just being me, being, as some people have described it, my helicopter energy, where it's like I'm wild and crazy instead of trying to find the very perfect word for every single sentence to hit the spot every single time. That's not me, and it makes me sweaty and anxious.
I found you to be a genuinely curious person. Would you agree with that? And if not, I'd love your thoughts on that. Or if so, where does that come from?
Um, yes, very curious, but yes, I agree. There is no but, there is no and. Yes, I'm a genuinely very, very curious person, which is why I'm researching why coaches in any area, specifically off-road motorsports now,
Wow.
call themselves the things that they call them, do the things that they do. Uh, yeah, I wouldn't be pursuing a doctor of philosophy if I wasn't curious about life.
Now, were you always curious, or did that come with time, or from coaching, or
I It's always been there, just in different forms. So my upbringing is very unique in that I have on one side of my parental spectrum, my mom, she's a medical anthropologist. So always curious, always asking questions, developing things, seeing if they work, exploring different um, medicinal philosophies. And then on the other side of the spectrum, have my dad, who is a retired horseshoer, who specialized in corrective shoeing, who is a sculptor and a writer. But
wow.
growing up, watching horses move to identify what they need is is more curiosity. So
Wow.
I'm in this spectrum of curiosity. Then every sport that I've participated in as a kid to an adult, has always had unique techniques associated with it. And that's mountain biking, ice hockey, driving. There's all like we can just go about and do it, but we can also dive into the nuance of each technique and each thing that happens. And each layer is an area of more curiosity.
What is a technique?
So a technique, let's of the things that I listed, ask me for a technique of that. So I'll give you an option. Do you want a technique for ice hockey? Do you want to, which I specialize in teaching skating? Do you want a
Oh,
technique for mountain
interesting.
biking? Do you want a
Uh,
technique for driving?
let's do the ice hockey.
Okay. So so we can break it down into a simple stroke. How do we go forward? Well, we push our legs out to the side. While we're standing on one leg, we push one leg out to the side, and that's going to propel us forward. Basic, simple, a
Sure.
forward stride or stroke. That is a technique. I can dive much deeper into that single technique, or we can talk about another technique on the same surface level. So that's an example of a technique.
What relationship does technique have with the performance of, like, the possible performance of each individual within, their domain? I'll add a quote to this because I'm trying to follow this thought. To Bruce Lee, there's a quote. I'd rather kick once 1,000 times than 1,000 different kicks. So I think of
Mhm.
like technique.
Yeah,
What role does technique play in greatness? Technique versus repetition, or repetition versus technique, or
I think it's going to come down to what what does the individual need to become successful? Is there a technique? So if we're using that Bruce Lee analogy, he fine tunes one kick and he does that one kick 1,000 times. Now, can another person do that technique as efficiently and as perfectly as he can 1,000 times? Or do they need to learn a different technique that they can do 1,000 times?
your question was, what does it need? What does that individual need to be successful? So you turned it around about the person.
Yeah.
Why think about the person first, or rather than give us, oh, well, this is the reason. It seems like you turn it towards that individual experience.
Uh,
What really, yeah, I think there's something really beautiful.
okay. So we are all, the reason why I turned it back on the person is because we are all N of ones. Now, going back to the stroke, we all need to, in ice hockey, we all need to learn how to stroke and skate forward. It's going to look very, very different on each individual person. Pedaling on a bike is a technique, but given the structured environment, it will more than likely look the same on every single person when they first start out. So the technique is going to be a foundation for understanding how to go from point A to point B.
Mm.
So
How?
I'm sitting by a body of water here. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Or no, go, yeah, go body of water.
So I'm sitting by a body of water, and there are people getting out. They're going to go onto the lake and go paddleboarding. They are trying to, there's a glare coming in through my camera, and I'm trying to correct it. Is it okay?
Yeah, I think the Holy Spirit is with you. They want you to be.
Okay.
They got the
So,
sun. It's like there's angels behind you and everything.
so what is a technique that people need in order to go from point A to point B on the water, regardless of they're on paddle boards or in a kayak, they're in a canoe? The technique is paddling. They need to be able to propel their vessel. So
Yeah.
that would be almost a demonstration of a kayak paddle because you're seated, you're reaching, you're pulling, you're reaching, you're pulling. Stand up paddleboard. I've never stood on a stand up paddleboard before. I have no idea how to paddle, but I would imagine that I would need to learn how to paddle from a standing position in order to effectively manipulate or travel on a paddleboard on the water. So the technique, getting back to your question, Jay, is that the technique is the foundation for becoming successful in a particular environment.
Are you implying that the the actual person, like the from you to the person,
Mm-hmm.
yes, who's the person in front of me, like them as a person has a
Yeah.
relationship with that technique and with that process of performance?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, let's start there.
Okay.
It feels like the beginning of a the master class, the aha moment for people. Maybe they've never thought in these ways.
I and it's those aha moments that that open up the door to a new reality.
Ooh, what do you mean?
Eh,
It's a good,
I'm going to put you on the spot.
it's a
Do you
good
drive a
quote.
manual transmission vehicle? Can you drive a manual transmission vehicle?
There was a time where I did. I'm a little
Okay.
insecure to think, can I do it today? But I was able to do it then. That's yeah,
Then you'll be
manual.
able to do it again.
You're playing with the
Yeah.
gas,
Yeah.
sorry.
The
It
clutch
was
and the
kind of
gas.
feeling,
Yeah.
it's
You got it.
intuitive. Yeah. I'm
Yeah. So so imagine this is an aha moment that I love to experience when I'm teaching people how to drive race cars. Is
wow. I
that you
said
take
that in the
somebody.
intro, by the way. By the way, this guy teaches race car driver. It's like, oops. It sounds cool.
So imagine that you just got your driver's license in this world now where every vehicle has modern amenities. There's sensors all over most cars. There's most of these a lot of kids are now growing up driving electric vehicles where they only use one pedal because they have regenerative braking. And they get into this car that's a roll cage, bucket seat. They've got a stranger sitting next to them that looks like a hippie. Hi. and and I say, okay, I want you to press the clutch with your left foot. And they look at these three pedals and they have no clue what to do. They They lift off the clutch too fast, and the car comes to a stop, jolts to a stop, and stalls the engine. They think they broke it. We take a breath and we try again. We take a breath, we have patience, we slowly release the clutch, really fearful that that traumatic event's going to happen again. Car's going to lurch forward, it's going to go, and then think they broke it. Then all of a sudden, they slowly release the clutch. Car starts to creep forward, and now they're rolling. They've now opened up the door to drive any single vehicle on the road, not just an EV, but any vehicle. They can get into any vehicle and be familiar with driving a manual transmission. For a lot of people, that is an aha moment, especially when the cars that they can drive are much older than they are. It's a pathway into history.
What actually changed in that person?
A lot of things. Um, they've learned a new technique. So the neurologic wiring that they've said, okay, their leg that was not able to actually slowly release a clutch now has the ability to feel what's happening between them and the car, between them and their left foot. So we can go as deep as far as
Whoa.
saying, um, we just improved their proprioception in their left foot because now they actually have awareness of a new skill that they didn't have before. Not only are they aware of what their left foot is doing, but they can now feel the subtle vibrations of an engine connected to their foot, connected to the transmission, connected to the rear tires that will propel us forward. So we've taken
Can,
something
can
that's completely disconnected to being connected.
how much of awareness is taught versus experienced or
Hmm. Want to make sure I'm answering your question in a way that you so how much is taught
I don't know
versus
for
how much
sure.
is experienced?
Yeah, can awareness be taught?
It can be encouraged. It can things can be pointed out, but I don't think that I think that if we're looking at it from a technique perspective and we go with that, then we can isolate is being mindful a technique. How much energy do we have? If we go back to Bruce Lee, how much time has he put into that single kick? The breath to do 1,000 kicks, the
Mm.
technique to stabilize 1,000 kicks, the patience with oneself to know I might mess up.
It
So
seems like there's so much. Go ahead. No, no. Yeah.
going back to your question about experience, we cannot dictate how somebody experiences something, but we can with our heightened experience, we can help others identify what they might not be identifying to increase their experience. So I can't experience something for them, but I can try and guide them in a direction to identify new experiences with themselves.
What do you believe the difference is, if any, between learning and experience?
What do we do with it? What do we do with the experience? Do we take anything away? Do we reflect on it? So I think that
Uh,
the
reflection.
learning, yeah, it, it's that reflection gap. So it's the experience, reflection, learning. It's not in order to you hit the nail on the head, Jay. It is that reflection piece.
What is the role or no. What is a coach? What is it not?
I just read an article that was shared with me by one of my supervisors, one of my PhD supervisors, and it was written for motorsport and for motorsport coaches, talking about the distinction between instruction and coach. And and there's I'm very hesitant to give a definitive definition because everybody has one. So I'm going to give you my definition based on me as a practitioner, where I hold the label of an instructor at a certain environment. I'm certified, I'm an instructor at a rally school where I teach driving. I'm a certified instructor through Professional Mountain Bike Instructors Association, but yet I coach mountain biking, but I also instruct. I'm an ice hockey coach. I'm a power skating instructor. And then overall, I'm a strength and conditioning coach. But my certification there is certified strength and conditioning specialist. And then my one of my designations is I'm a registered strength and conditioning coach. So I feel quite qualified to give you an answer on the distinction between instructor and coach. So when I'm instructing, I'm giving a step-by-step process of how to accomplish something, how to skate, how to drive a car, how to ride a mountain bike. When I'm coaching, when I've shifted, for me, there's an intentional slide towards what is the behavior that is either preventing somebody from executing the technique, or the behavior that is in that is preventing somebody from getting to that next level of performance. So it's that hard conversation of saying, okay, you're running out of patience with your left foot, which is why you keep stalling the vehicle. What is going on with you're not being patient with the car? What's A lot of people run out of patience in a multitude of environments. So why do we run out of patience? Do we feel out of control? Do we Are we frustrated? Are we stressed? What is causing that lack of impatience?
What relationship does attention have, if at
To
all?
to patience? What
The
relationship does
attention.
attention have?
Yeah. Oh man. I wrote this down.
Okay.
Instructor, how to do, parentheses, process step by step. Coach, what's the behavior preventing? What behavior is preventing? And then prevention for the next level. And then, I wrote patience and circled it. You're saying the
Mm.
recipient, right? Patience. That's like some kind of and then my thought comes up is like, what relationship does attention, the attention I feel like I have visualized right there when you were explaining that you paying attention to me.
Mm.
Like the other day, I hired someone to for 4 hours to teach me how to swing a golf club and
Yeah.
hit the ball.
Yeah.
And I could feel myself being patient. I'm going back there now. The
Okay.
stress, the angst, the frustration.
Yeah.
Even if I was able to not throw the club,
What did that individual do to keep you from going off that ledge where you just wanted to chuck the club as far as you possibly could?
they were patient with me.
Were they
They
encouraging?
there was yeah. Yeah, it's funny. It's like Charlie Munger used to always say, invert, always invert. It's like there's so many things they did not do that I picked up on that was encouraging to me that they could very well easily have done.
Hmm.
And I just want to clarify, I could be one of the worst people walking the face of the earth at this. It's a possibility.
I,
Don't tell the coach of coaches on the Culture of the podcast
well,
this.
no, I'm just saying you haven't seen me play golf. That's like to
So
it's entertaining. Let's say put it that way.
they were patient. They reduced to simplicity. It kept getting more simple so I could practice fundamentals that got closer to my level of capability, capacity, like reduced to reduced to the ridiculous.
You're bringing up something very interesting, Jay, because you're talking about the steps that they're able to reduce the steps and distill the steps down into pieces, chunks that you could execute successfully.
Yeah, like instead of me trying to hit the ball, my
Yeah.
task was to hit the tee, and then the tees could get lower to the ground or higher to the ground. It's
Yeah.
easier for me to hit the higher to the ground, so I could focus on other aspects of my body that was messing it up.
So were they trying to make the steps for you? Were they trying to create an environment where you could successfully do the steps? In which case they were still instructing because they're still focused on the steps, or did they take the time to understand the behavior associated with not being able to execute the technique and not but is that was what was their intention? Was their intention to address the behavior or was their intention to address the steps?
I
Did
believe
they
it was a
acknowledge the
combination.
behaviors?
Yeah,
Combination. Okay.
combination. Um, and it was mentioned quite a bit, like them desiring to understand how my mind worked,
Mm, okay.
almost as if the amount of time that we would had or would spend invest together would create this possibility of them being able to decode and
Did
understand how to coach me.
okay. Did you feel successful?
I felt much better. I feel pretty good about it. Yeah,
Okay.
I I was better at the end than I was at the beginning.
Okay. I want I want to go full circle with something. Remember you said what is the connection between experience was can't remember the exact phrasing,
Oh, learning
the
experience.
learning and experience or experience and learning. So in the moment, you were trying to learn something. You were experiencing something while you were trying to learn something. You were learning something very specific. You were learning how to swing a golf club. You felt like you made a change and you felt good about your progress from the beginning of the session to the end of the session. So you learned something within your experience. Did you learn something that is more broadly applicable from the experience?
I'm laughing because um I don't get people's hopes up that I'm gonna play golf with them. That was because I told, all these team members of one of our client partners, yeah, I'm getting the lessons. I'll play with you again. I learned that that I shouldn't invest time, money, energy in things that my heart isn't in it. I'm doing it for someone else. I need to
Okay.
also have my heart into it. Um,
Hmm.
I definitely learned, yeah, I learned a lot of the what I was doing, like t specific things about I learned I would say I definitely was instructed on what not to do and what how to hit the ball, like with hips and head and stance, and have a clear protocols on repetitions I could do like every day to get the practice right to get the practice to for it to be I guess to get better from practice.
Did you learn how to move your body in a new way that was
Yes.
foreign before?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yes.
trying to wipe off my camera. Clearly didn't work. So
Yes, I did.
did
Yeah.
you did? And was that were you sore at all after?
Yeah, it was very exhausting to do it was like 4 hours of training over
Yeah,
2 days.
over 2 days. I feel like this is turning into a coaching session and talking about behavior.
Well, it's
So,
perfect.
so we can talk going back to what you said about attention. So when we're talking about performance, we have our cognitive performance and we have our physical performance. When we're learning a skill and we have to focus on if I were to ask you to reflect on the lesson, the very first hour, and everything was broken down into steps, or all of those steps were distilled into tiny pieces, it gave you an opportunity to be cognizant of what is happening. How is your stance? How is your grip? What are you looking at? Where's your focus? As you start to bring the club back, if we're driving from the golfers that I've worked with, it's almost like cocking a gun. As we bring the club back, we now rotate our hips into it, and the movement starts with our hips, and then we allow the club to go through the head of the club to go through the ball. Now, what I said, there's probably details that I left out that are not accurate because I am not a golf coach, nor am I a golfer. But you having spent a lot of time, 4 hours, a considerable amount of time learning the steps, can you focus on each individual step and go through it in your head?
Yeah.
That's cognitive.
Mm.
Now, can you translate that into a physical action? Both require energy. They both require the body to facilitate actions that require ATP. That say, okay, I am using physical energy to accomplish this goal. Where am I strong enough to swing a golf club? Yes. Jay is strong enough to swing a golf club. Is Jay able to execute the move? Is his body able to make those movements, those small movements, even something as easy as depressing a clutch and controlling it? I don't know. By the end of it, yeah, yeah,
I
Jacob.
think I was too afraid to hit the ball. I think that I wasn't confident enough in who I am yet in the world, or and in this mechanism. I have a lot of psychological that was holding me back.
When did you arrive at that?
Right now.
So you took your experience, you broke it down, talked about it, are reflecting on it, and now the lesson from it is, are we allowed to swear on your podcast?
Let's do it.
Holy shit, I'm treating that golf ball like I treat a lot of things in my life. When I could really just whack the crap out of that thing and it can handle it. I just need to be able to actually do it. and I want to have the confidence to try. I want to have the confidence to try more things and go full on, knowing
I'm
that the world can
afraid to
handle
hit
me.
it. Yeah, I'm afraid to hit the ball. I'm afraid to let go of, I'll let go of the club. I'm afraid. I don't even know why I'm hitting it because I don't really want to play. Just I just didn't want to let other people down that like me because I got invited to play. I want them to have a nice time. There's nothing worse. What led me to the lesson was because I was asked to play and then I didn't want to disrespect anyone by saying no, I'm too good for this. So
Mm.
I did it and then it ruined everybody's time. That's how I
Did it ruin?
projected. No, I projected that. So then that's why I hired a golf instructor.
So what's so interesting about this is that there's a whole body of research on community of practice and how we learn through culture, how we learn through being with people. When I first read the research, I went back and we had a conversation about, I'm looking at this and thinking it's so hit or miss. There's really no evidence there's evidence that says yes, it happens, but what's the quality of learning? There's evidence to say, it doesn't really, it's not really there. From my own experience now and from what I'm looking at with my research is that no, it's there and it's strong. We just have to find that right community and have courage in ourselves that our community is going to support us in a way that wants us to be as successful as the hired professional would be. So let's say you didn't take a lesson, you went golfing with that group. Do I need to move my phone, by the way?
No, it's there. I don't think it's bad.
Okay. All right. Is that
That's
worse or
worse.
better? That's
That's
worse.
worse. Do it. Put it back. Yeah, down. That's good. Lower, lower. Yeah, there's some light coming in, but it looks fine to me. Um, You were saying that
So,
but keep going. Yeah, go on.
so community of practice. So let's say you went with that your people who invited you to golf. You said I've maybe played mini golf. I want to go, but I got to let you know that I suck. And I only suck because I've never done it before. Are you guys okay having patients teaching me? Or they could say yes. I find bringing new people in.
I'm resuming the recording. This is perfect.
Okay.
That was so Alasso of you to run around the car in a circle to fix the Wi-Fi.
Let's just hope it actually
You were
is it
saying that
sticking?
if if like if I said I've never done this before, I suck, I'm new, are you willing to have patience with me?
Yeah. You willing to? Is it okay to do this because I've never done it before? My the communities that I put myself in, I welcome those who want to learn. I know the benefit of learning something new. All communities are open to take people and having the patience to teach. I, I feel that we lose the opportunity to build connection in order to find connection. And are you thinking? I think it's lagging again. You can hear me? I see you nodding, but I don't know. Can you hear me?
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, we have about a 2 second lag.
Oh, jeez. I'm gonna try putting you back to where you were because I think the sun has moved a little bit. That's where you were before. Is it
Wait.
still lagging?
Oh, it looks like it's clearing up.
Okay.
Wow, it's amazing.
See, this is an example. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, like that's better.
Okay. All right. Then I'm going to leave it there. You're back in the sun, but it's going down and it's getting better.
Yeah, I think it looks great. I like the light behind you like
Okay.
that because it's almost like you're coming down like Zarathustra in Nietzsche's Zarathustra, I am coming down from the mountaintops and I all I have is uh uh what does he say? He goes, I have my
I have no
arms
clue.
outstretched and I have honey for the bees or something like that. Basically, I'm bringing knowledge. I'm bringing important knowledge for everyone. Yeah, the li you're
Um,
like, I don't know if I have it here. I'd read it, but one of my favorite books.
I'm glad that I'm glad that it's adding something to the call.
Yeah, I like the real. There's so much surface level stuff in the world. I don't think I have the Zarathustra in my office, which is another awareness that I've gotten from this coaching session with you, which is I must have Zarathustra on hand if I'm gonna do any podcasts in my office. It's definitely downstairs. I know exactly where it is. And I'm doubly upset with myself because I haven't memorized the first page, which is like one of the most beautiful, poetic. Shoot, I think when we first met, I was reading some of that because, oh no, I had the Joyful Wisdom with me. I don't know.
You've read a lot of things.
We had so much fun. So it sounds like you were saying that human performance isn't just a one-on-one or an individual construct, but a social, or
Mm-hmm.
communal. And if I'd love if you could elucidate on that, elaborate on that. It's just
So
there's a social aspect to it.
yeah, um, community performance is definitely something that's drawn me more into the field of coaching because if we look at it from behavior, we as individuals have the opportunity to create whatever experience we want for those we interact with. And it's our responsibility as members of community to be, and this is going to be, I can't remember where this came from. You can probably tell me who said it. Be the change we want to see in the world.
Nelson
So,
Mandela.
was it?
The cool thing about the internet is no one knows if who's going to fact check.
I don't know. I would like to know
Uh,
because
let me let
there's
me
a
look.
lot more to that quote, I'm sure. But it's when I think about it, it's so my world right now is I am a guest
It's
for
Gandhi.
Jay Dor. It's Gandhi. I am a guest for Jay Doran's podcast. So
See?
my world, you are my world right now. So for me, it's a matter of being the best I can be for the experience that we want to share, that others will listen to and watch, and giving them something to participate in, whether that's comments, reaching out. Was there something that touched, moved, and inspired them to take action, to look at their daily life as something new?
Well, I want the audience to know another awareness I had from this what started out as an interview of a coach of coaches, researcher around coaching, the spirit of education of human performance, to a live coaching session, me as the coachee, you as the coach. I had an awareness that in this whole golf medium, I had too much weight in I attached so much meaning to that and what didn't let everyone in. I didn't re let my guard down. It was so shameful for me. Everyone's great. Everyone liked me. It's all good. No one cared. I know that, common sense. But I had so much skin in that game. And the trauma, it was like the trauma of failing at such a level led me to give my word that I would not come back without getting a lessons. So I wanted to keep my word, but all of that is about me. And so that's from this conversation.
So key points that we've talked about in relationship to what you just said, all of it's there. We have our social emotional side of how we interact. We can look at the performance of that. We have the support of our community. We have providing an experience for people, and we are part of that experience. We bring our own issues to that. We we're welcomed, we're invited to participate on a community, yet we're putting gates that we have to go through in order to make sure that we're comfortable with that experience. Where most of the time, people who are inviting us don't really give a crap about our experience. They want to be with us, not the pro that we're expected to be. Um, so it sounds like from that that golf session you had, you needed to do it. You needed to have that experience because if you didn't have that experience, what would this experience be like for you now? Probably be a lot different. Might be better, it might be worse, it might be the same.
And it
But
just so
you
happens it just so happens I turned the golf trainer into a psychologist.
so if
I
if
got
if you did, then they ended up coaching you.
Yeah, I think they are wonderful. I'll invite them on the show someday. We could laugh about it and I'll see them again. I do want, in closing, I'd love to know why we met, because there was a farm in the middle of nowhere. Why, meaning, why was I there? Well, why were you there? What to you, what was the Hope Farm experience? Because I'd love to honor Michael Olaso, who we met through indirectly. Uh, it was a transformative moment for me, I think, like a cultural artifact in my life's hero's journey. So, like, why were you there? What is it to you?
So I was there because so he's been working with my family well, I was there because I needed to improve situations like this. I needed to be more relaxed. I needed to be make more contact with the camera, knowing that I see your face down here, but I need to look up here because that's how I make contact.
Oh, you're
If
doing
I
so.
look at you, I'm not connecting with you. If I look at the camera, I'm connecting with you.
Wow.
Uh, I needed to be, I needed to have more patience and persistence with preparing for situations, for events. I needed to be able to be more comfortable with choosing the wrong words as long as the words came out. I think that you and I were paired up because when I watch you, you're courageous and you stand up and you share what's on your mind and you capture the room with your energy. I do that in very specific environments, but I want to be able to do it in more environments, even if it's just the virtual one. So that was part of the reason why I think we were paired up. Um, so that was why I went, is because I wanted to be better and more relaxed.
Wow.
It's like this conversation hasn't made me sweat because I'm relaxed. It hasn't made me freak out. My temperature has risen because I've gotten excited, but I'm more relaxed. I'm not forcing the right words to come out. I'm allowing what's ever coming out to come out, and we're talking about things that I'm passionate about. I'm trying to focus on when you ask me a question, not deviating from the question, but answering the question, not responding with a question. Doing my best to share the stage, but knowing you invited me on the stage, that I am the guest. So therefore, you're I when
Wow.
I'm invited, I'm only assuming that, hey, I'm inviting this person because I'm making it about them, but I want to share it with you
Hmm.
because you're sharing it with me.
How can people connect with you? Like, is it email, website,
Email
contact,
and
package?
email, Instagram. I found that Instagram is one of the most current authentic ways of sending a message or
Hmm.
email. Um, Also in the show note, if
What's your
I don't know how
Instagram?
you feel about sharing phone numbers, but you can share my phone number. I mean,
If you want to just say it, people listen.
my number is 425-563-3542.
And what's your handle on
And
Instagram?
my handle on Instagram is Daniel_J_Heller, Heller. And my website is very easy. It's danieljheller.com. There's a contact form there.
You got your first DM listening to you on the Culture Matters podcast. It's awesome. It's me.
I really?
It's me
Oh, oh,
DMing you. It's
I'm pretty sure we
foreshadowing.
already follow each other.
Yeah, this is so much. This has been so much fun for me to have you on the show. I can't wait to do it again. Um, and if you're listening to this episode, I would challenge you, especially if you're in the helper's profession, to re-listen to this a couple times. I think Michael has mentioned like three, 5 or 6 times. I think it was him that said that. So to re-listen to this because I consider this as an experiencer of it, an experiential example of D Daniel's work. So thank you, Daniel, for your help
My
and
pleasure.
time and attention. And I look forward to next time. And if you're listening to this, go listen to our mutual friend on the Culture Matters podcast, the or friends, Michael Lasso, who's a staple of the show. Been on, just type his name on the Culture Matters podcast. He's been on 4 or 5 times, and the one and only Chuck Hyde, actually. Go type his name. Shoot Daniel a text, and we will see you next time on the Culture Matters podcast. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Jay.